be fun to do more advice. And you're like, you didn't even give good advice the first time. And I'm like, exactly. So we have bot roast and we have, I don't even know what we would call Muppet roast back there. She is doing the eternal scream. Ma absolutely gaping. Anyways, okay, look at this. This was $1.99 at the grocery store. Okay, God is a woman and she wants us to be glamorous. Is there nowhere to rip? Whatever. Anyways, it's like a glow-in-the-dark pendant and also beads. Let's get into it. She's ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? Should I have my cat's gorgeous fur preserved as a pelt when she's done using it? Guess what, my dude? That is 1,000,000,000% up to you. You know, as Pot Roast was sick and then after she died, I received like thousands of DMs and I couldn't read all of them, you know, and most of them were supportive. But one of the only ones that I found truly helpful was right before she died. I saw one that was like, hey, I know there's nothing I can say to comfort you, but I do want to let you know that you should keep as many body parts as you can. And that person, they were right. They were very, very right. So yeah, I would say keep all the body parts that you want to keep. The taxidermist asked me if I wanted to keep her heart specimen, like in a little jar, and she showed me an example. And it was pretty cool, but not for me. You know, I think I'd rather give her heart to the beetles who ate her or wherever else a heart goes. You know what I mean? She knows what I mean. How to keep a conversation going on dating apps. Purr, literally meow. I know. Ugh, dating apps are, I feel like, you know, sometimes if the conversation's good, it's gonna keep going, you know what I mean? If you're not having fun, literally don't reply, or unmatch them. I used to love unmatching people, but what could you talk about? You could always bring up pot roast. You could always bring up bot roast, so then they have to Google it and see something horrifying, you know what I mean? I think that could be exciting for you and me and them. Also, just as an aside, if you hear an email or a Teams notification, look at me, you and me are both gonna ignore it, okay? That's how we're gonna move on. How do I handle my neighbor letting their dog run unleashed? Okay, well, let me tell you something. I'm gonna uncheck this one. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, one time, people in my neighborhood let their dogs run unleashed. I don't have the energy in me to fight them, you know what I mean? Maybe, oh my God, what if I put bot roast in a stroller and took her around? Because I did have a stroller for pot roast. She does get your hands a little dirty and that's fine. Sometimes gorgeous girls do that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, sometimes people in my neighborhood let their dogs run wild and that's ultimately fine with me, I don't care. But one time I was in the park and there was like, I don't think it was one of those Labradoodles, but it was that type of dog, you know what I mean? Like that category, like the Venn diagram of that kind of dog, and awful is a circle, you know what I mean? Anyways, I was walking in the park, this dog came and like jumped on me, and this family was like playing with it. They thought it was being cute. I did not think it was being cute, so I just kept walking and kind of like brushed the dog off me. I did not push it or anything, even though I wanted to. Anyways, okay, a man, like a really old man, like, I don't even know how to say how old he was walking behind me, and the dog jumped on him and pushed him down, like pushed the old man, he fell. So then the people felt really bad, and then they put the dog in their car. So what I would say is kind of get an old man in your neighborhood and then kind of wait for one of the dogs to push him down, and that'll kind of be a wake-up call for the people who own the dog. You know what I mean? And if that doesn't work, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know about most things, so I definitely don't know about that. Would you prefer to have 7 legs or an exoskeleton? If I had 7 legs, would they be this size? Because then I'd kind of be like a spider, right? Like they'd have to go out. Or would they be like small so I could stay like this? You know what I mean? If that doesn't make sense to you, I can't help you. Okay, I can't explain it any better than that. You really got dirt on my hands, and I love and respect you for that. But an exoskeleton, that kind of sounds worse in a way, you know? I guess 7 legs, but I want them to be this size so I can like go like this. You know what I mean? Okay. Wedding planning advice. Your guess is as good as mine, my dudes. I don't know about that, and I have a hard time believing I'll ever get married, let alone have a wedding. But I do think, this is what I think, this is what one of my aunts did. They went to Las Vegas and got married, and then they came home and had a giant party. A giant party. Actually, that's what 2 of my aunts did. One of them's divorced now, just so you know. So it's like a 50-50 shot, which is all marriage, right? Anyways, that's what I would do. And you don't have to make it a fancy party. You could even make it like a kegger or something, you know? I think that could be kind of thrilling. And Las Vegas is glamorous in its own little, I don't want to say trashy because that sounds disrespectful to Las Vegas, who I really feel like I should not disrespect. Alternatives to couples counseling. Screaming in the street, breaking up, I turned her on, didn't I? So, I'm not even gonna get into that. What else is an alternative to couples counseling? You know, yeah, I'm gonna say breaking up. I'm gonna say just, that sounds expensive, but breaking up is ultimately cheaper. Although I think divorce is expensive, but I don't know because I've never been married and I've never been divorced. That feels like bragging, but okay. How do I get my baby to sleep through the night? And I cannot stress how many people asked for advice about children or babies. Look at me. You think I know about children or babies? Have you heard me speak for 1 second? I don't know about that. The youngest person that I know is 12. It's my cousin. And yeah, that's the only young person I know because knowing a young person is not always fun. You know what I mean? I think it's probably problematic to say this, but I don't like being around children unless it's my cousin who's 12. But I will say it's a little bit easier to be around her each year. You know what I mean? As she grows. I think we're ignoring it. We're ignoring it. I think when she gets to be a teenager, we will truly connect. You know what I mean? She had a hamster. I'm trying to think of the hamster's name. It's like Bubbles or something. That hamster lived for like 5 or 6 years, which has got to be like the max hamster. What was that hamster's name? Anyways, and they let it run around the house. Like it would just run around the house, and they used to lose it behind the couch. But he just kept living, like just kept living. Anyways, I was very proud of her for keeping that hamster alive because keeping things alive is hard, obviously. Are you still on right now? Oh, I'm sorry. You and me going fish. Oh, I put it on the try me option. And that's because that's a threat. That's why it doesn't work. Should I date a Navy boy or try to date a nice girl? I know one person who's in the Navy, and I did date him before he was in the Navy, and because I dated him in high school, and he is, I used to think he was crazy in the way that is fun, and it really freaks me out when she does that with her eyes. When she does that, closes them. So we dated in high school, okay? This is before I even knew he had an inkling to join the Navy. And we were having fun, even though he was crazy. And we used to drink a lot of Four Loko back when Four Loko was like incredible. Like it was doing incredible things in the alcohol poisoning space. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was distracted by my dryer. Oh, but anyways, then he had sex with someone who was much younger, I think. Can you say sex on YouTube videos? I hope. Again, gonna let go and let God in this moment. And then things started to get really scary, and we both worked at the same aquatic center, and I would like teach swimming lessons to kids. And so one day I left my phone in my locker, and I got in the pool. This is after we broke up because he did what he did. And after I taught swimming lessons, I went to go get my phone, and he had unblocked his number and like called himself a bunch of times and listened to all my voicemails and gone through all my text messages. And this was in the year, like, this was before, I did not have an iPhone. So he was like pressing a lot of buttons. And, oh, and then he broke into my car one night while I was sleeping because it was like a 95 Honda. It wasn't hard to break into it, but he did drive to my mom's house to do that. And he left like this weird love letter note on the dashboard. Anyways, he went on to join the Navy. And so that's why I think that you should never date someone from the Navy, because they probably used to be like that. And that's my opinion on that. That's my stance. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say, date a nice girl. I've never heard, I don't think I know a single, well, I only know him from the Navy, so I'm sure girls join the Navy, but I would really stay away from Navy boys. That's what I would do. Is there a squirrel or something living in my wall? I can hear it scurrying. What do I do? Behind my washer, there's a brick wall, and sometimes I hear scratching back there. And one time I took a video of it and put it on my Instagram story saying, what is this? And people told me it was rats. So I tried to forget about that as quickly as possible because I've never seen a rat in here or any signs of a rat. When we first moved in, my cat Carrot, she had all her teeth, brag, bit the head off of a baby mouse, don't know where the baby mouse came from, and left it on the white bathroom mat in the bathroom. And that's the only time I've seen an animal in here. Well, crickets aren't animals, they're insects. So there have been crickets in here. But anyways, I think you should ignore it. You know what I mean? Unless you want to call animal control and get it saved, right? If the squirrel got in, it can probably get out, right? One time I watched a show where a cat climbed up a chimney, and they had to call, and it took like a bunch of people to get this cat out of the chimney. So I would say leave the squirrel. I have a crush on a guy who's kind of my boss, but just a coworker. Should I ask him out? No. Let me tell you something. There is something that is this incredible phenomenon. Okay, now you want to start moving. Incredible. So you were on that whole time? Whatever. You know, they have ones that can like fully walk. Should I get one of those? What was I? Oh, there's a phenomenon called, well, I'll have to come up with a better name. It's called thinking men are hot situationally. Okay, she does not think men are hot. She wants you to know. There's something about men who are not hot. But when you're in certain situations with them, they're hot to you. I'll explain. They're your coworker. They're your best friend's older brother. They are your tax guy. You know what I mean? They're not hot, but in that moment to you, they are hot. And it's just because of the way that you met them. So what I would do is not ask him out. And I would also try in my mind to like picture meeting him on the street, and that's gonna undo it for you. I promise that will undo it for you. Because every time I've thought someone is cute and then I like took a step back, I was like, oh no, they just work with me, you know? How to get away with tax fraud. Okay, on the tax guy theme, but for real, my tax guy is cute, but I think he's pretty old. I don't really know. It's hard to tell, you know what I mean? I don't know how to get away with tax fraud. And if I did, I definitely wouldn't put it in a YouTube video on my public platform. You know what I mean? How to stop being morbidly obsessed with cats. You don't. You actually never do that. Agreed. How to get men to leave me alone. Start acting like me. That's what I would do, actually. You can even take some of the sentences I've said, like some of the crazier ones. You could even buy yourself a bot roast, you know? I think the person who bought us this got it off eBay. And then I stretched pot roast skin over it. No, I didn't. It came like this off eBay, but they dyed it. And they also did the little yellow. Gorgeous. Oh, and they also painted the eyes so that they're, say it with me, extra scary. Should I go on a hiking date? No. How to buy groceries without having a panic attack. There's something about, and if you don't understand this sentence, again, I cannot help you. You know when you go in a grocery store and you get really, really up? Oh, I guess that's called overstimulated, right? I hope that's what that's called. There's some, that happens to me too. And I just have to like, I used to try to fix it by like going through the grocery store as fast as I could to try to get it over with. But then like by the time I got to my car, like my heart would be like it was just so stressful. So now I just try to like walk slow through the grocery store and take deep breaths and hope I don't run into a woman who's having a performative conversation with her child in the yogurt aisle. You know what I mean? Because that is stressful. Bot roast fully agrees. She moves, but she never goes anywhere, and I don't know why that bothers me. What would you do? What would you do if she walked off this block right now? I would start screaming, and I would never stop. Onward we go. What should I do about my corporate job that I hate? You should ignore your Teams and emails notifications. It's like life is so bad sometimes. I'm not gonna let Teams notifications make it worse for me. I'm about to graduate with my bachelor's degree. I have no aspirations. What should I do? You should not feel bad about having no aspirations. It's like, who wants to aspire to things? People act like, I think people sometimes look down on other people who have no direction or no aspirations. And I think if you are that way, you like feel bad about it. You almost look down on yourself, and you don't need to. I have no aspirations. Look at me. You know I have no aspirations. Bot roast gets it. But sometimes aspirations are trying to eat less McDonald's, you know? And sometimes aspirations are small things. Like getting a glow-in-the-dark pendant and wearing it everywhere. Sometimes an aspiration can just be being crazy on the internet, you know? And that's free, actually. That's completely free. And people don't talk about that enough. How can I stop feeling guilty for being in a bad place? I want to be kind to myself, but it's so hard. It is so hard. One time when I was like 22, I think, I was dating someone, and when they broke up with me, they said, "You're always going through something." And I was like, yeah, that's what it's like to be alive. That's kind of, I know you agree with me, but you're kind of making a lot of noise. You shouldn't feel guilty for being in a bad place. I think someone said once, someone very smart who is not me, said that to live is to suffer. I'm sure it was much more eloquent than that, but that's just what it's like to be alive. So don't feel guilty. And yeah, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm not very kind to myself. I've been eating a lot of cereal. That's me being kind to myself. Because I used to feel bad about eating cereal because it's like cereal doesn't grow anywhere, but who cares? Pop-Tarts don't either, and they're delectable. Can you teach us about light bulbs? No. I don't understand the volts and watts, and it's distressing. Like, they should make it easier. I just want lights. I'm always scared it's gonna explode my lamps. I think you said you were an electrician, but now I can't remember. I'm sorry if you're not. I am an electrical engineer, but I don't know about light bulbs. You know what I mean? I wouldn't worry about your lamps exploding, but I do want to give a legal disclaimer and say that if your lamp explodes, you can't be like, she said my lamp wasn't going to explode. But you know, it's 2022, right? I don't think lamps are just exploding. But sometimes pins explode. That's never happened to me. But I guess if pins can explode in the year 2022, maybe lamps can as well. Also, it's kind of crazy we're still getting colds, right? It's like no one can fix that. Please, please. How to tell the difference? I'm not going there. I'm not going there. How to stop excruciating cramps. My pot roast has no uterus, so I definitely wouldn't listen to her. My very best friend, who was in a video once, she has very long dark hair and she's very beautiful. She has really heavy periods. Okay, I'm absolutely spilling her business on the internet. And one time a doctor told her to take 4 Advil at the start of her period, like 4 Advil every like so many hours. And you should absolutely not do that. Actually, you should never ever do that. Because even if that did work, that's gotta be horrible for you, you know? And also, okay, at this point, I'm just gonna give advice on what not to do. When I was in high school, there was this girl who, you know, on your birth control pack, there's like a week for your cycle where it's just nothing. This girl would just never take that week. Like, she just would go through packs. And that's also gotta be really terrible for you. And I don't know where she's at now, you know? Maybe I should reach out and say, hey, was there any consequences from that? Because I'm trying to tell people on the internet how to stop excruciating cramps. Right, Bot Rose? How not to get hate on the internet. That's actually literally impossible. If science could figure that out, if you're a scientist and you have figured that out, reach out. Please reach out. Okay. What was I just talking about? What was I just talking about? It was right there. It's all written down, but I can't find it in the list. How do I get my cat to sit in my lap without picking her up? You know, I've never figured out how to pick up cats that didn't want to be picked up. And I think, you know, Pot Roast gave me a bad, set an expectation for me that when you pick them up, they would just go limp. And I've actually gotten scratched a lot of times for believing that. And I actually got scratched recently from believing that. I went to go pick up my aunt's kitten, and yeah, she scratched the living shit out of me. But I did kind of grab her in a respectful way, like I would grab Pot Roast. She wasn't into it. But she does live with 4 dogs, and so the cat, and who else would I be talking about? And so I wonder if maybe she's always on guard. You know what I mean? You gotta be on guard when you're living with 4 dogs. I'm thinking about fostering a dog. I don't know if I could have another cat here right now, but I'm thinking about maybe fostering a dog. I've been thinking a lot lately about the first dog I ever fostered. Her name was Harriet. Is Harriet. She's alive, living well. And actually this girl I was in a sorority with in college adopted her, and she is, the dog and the lady are just, they're just gorgeous, and they're little outdoor girls, and it's just nice to look at them. You know what I mean? You ever just look at something and you're like, heck yeah, maybe life isn't so bad. And then something happens and you're like, no, life is that bad. I'm going by myself to prom I have no friends to go with and no date. Who do I bring? I can't remember if I read this during the last video. Maybe I did. I have no idea. I think you should bring someone crazy, like someone that would make a splash, like you know who is sometimes really, really a safe person is the cashiers at gas stations. Sometimes they can be incredibly safe people. I would trust one of them, but sometimes they're scary people. But if you have a cashier at a gas station that you really like, I might reach out to them. If you want the number of my tax guy, I could probably give you that. I'm trying to think. I did not enjoy prom, but I did have a date, so maybe that was it. Maybe I should have taken a cashier at a gas station. After my prom, we got a party bus, which is like, that should be illegal, right? You know, like, children can't do that, can they? They did. Anyways, I hope your prom is fun, and I hope you remember that you're beautiful and you're gorgeous. Even if you do, yeah, take a gas station attendant as your date to prom. You know? Should I stop dating men and become a spinster instead? I don't really know what spinster means. Does it mean just like alone with cats? Men love to say that if you like being by your cats, or if you like being by yourself with only your cats, you're like gonna be alone forever. It's like, yeah, hopefully none of you come in here and fuck up the, can you say fuck on YouTube? Probably not. Probably not. Anyways, I don't want a man to come in here and absolutely irritate me. And do you think it might be easier for her to walk if she were on the ground? I don't want her to get her little if this was fabric dye or something on the rug. Not because this rug hasn't been peed and barfed on, but I'm trying to turn over a new clean rug leaf. I'm trying to turn over a new rug, right? Right. Top 5 baby names for cats. Okay. I think Faucet could be an incredible name. I really do think that. I think Casserole would be a gorgeous name. One time, sometimes I just go look at the shelter websites to see what the cats' names are. And one time there was a cat named Joe Camel. I feel like I can't say that on YouTube. But anyways, isn't that a wonderful, perfect name? And he looks like a Joe Camel, right? And sometimes they'll name puppies like Snuffleup, Snuggles or something crazy. And I have to say I dislike that. I have to say that. I think Tilapia is a great cat name. One time I had a litter of kittens that I was fostering and I named them all after fishes. Fish types, fish species. It was like tilapia, salmon. What are the other types of fish? Tuna. Tuna was the only black cat. The rest of them were gray in that litter. And 2 of them actually got adopted by a woman who lives 5 minutes from me. And sometimes I cat sit them, and that's nice. And I like that. Okay, what else? You know what's a gorgeous name that I think could translate into a cat name? Fiddly Fig. And that's kind of long. And I guess you could maybe do FFL. No, that's too close to BBL. I saw on Twitter this morning, someone said that the BBL is over. Is it? Comment down below. Not that I'm considering getting one. What if I did? I feel like you guys would know that I have truly lost it if I did that. Not that you don't think that I've truly lost it now. I think after the 7 legs conversation, you were probably like, this is downhill from here. How to tell the difference between platonic and romantic feelings? I don't know. One time I asked, I'm in a group me of straight women. I'm an incredible ally. And one time I was like, where's the difference between platonic female intimacy and romantic female intimacy? And they were like, holding hands and kissing, and I was like, I don't know about that. And they were like, no, that's definitely the line. So I would probably just ask a straight woman, you know what I mean, where she would draw the line, but like a cool one, right? Not like a, I mean, if you really wanted to, I guess you could ask a Republican, but I don't think I would, right? Okay, I think I have some more questions, but I have given so much wisdom. I'm ultimately gonna end it here. Bye, love you.